Good evening, Gary Smith, Andrew Danlishan. Thank you for joining us after this obviously disappointing home defeat 3-1 to Bromsgrove Sporting. Where do you think it went wrong tonight, chaps?
Let's just first say nobody feels more frustrated than myself, Andrew, and the players, because we know that we've got quality in that dressing room. And we've gone out there tonight for the first 25 minutes and we looked like we were going to take this game by the scruff of the neck. We got ourselves a penalty, which we scored. We went 1-up. After that, some collective individual errors have cost us in terms of the 3 goals we conceded. Just players seem to be playing with a little bit of fear tonight. I don't know why. We can't put our finger on it. They are frustrated though, but no more so than myself and Andrew, and obviously I know the fans are not happy with what's gone on tonight. Losing the game at home 3-1, first league game of the season, we would have expected better. So it's a feeling of total dejection and a lot of frustration. But having said that, second game of the season, it's not all doom and gloom yet. We'll bounce back, and the boys are under no illusions of what we require going forward from tonight's game.
It seemed at times it was a pretty even start, and obviously we got the goal through Reese's penalty and hoped we would build on that. But it didn't face Bromsgrove at all, and they came back really strong from that and seemed to be the better team for long periods of the first half. And it's almost seemed disjointed, really, particularly through midfield for Tamworth this evening. Could you put your finger on that?
If I could, we wouldn't have lost that game tonight. I just don't think that we got ourselves playing the way we know we can play. The rhythm and the tempo and everything, like I said, and the individual errors and the collective errors have cost us. I'm not gonna stand here and blame players and say, this player or that player. It's a collective thing. It's not just them. It's myself and Andy. We're gonna go away from this tonight and we'll analyse everything that we've done as a management team to see if there was anything that we could have done differently. We'll also analyse what the players have done to see what they could do differently, and hopefully we'll rectify it on the training ground, obviously, before our next game. But I'm not going to stand here and blame players and say this player or that player. It's a collective thing and we're all in it together. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows we're frustrated. It wasn't a performance that we wanted to put out tonight. But hey, we will bounce back.
I think as well, there's when you're playing a game and you're winning 1-0 and you get off to a good start, because I thought we got off to a good start and created a couple of chances. Ahmed Irving should have made it 2-0 and he shot over, and it happens. But that's 2 games when we've had a 1-0 lead and we've had 2 or 3 big chances to go 2-0, and I think you've got to do that, definitely. In terms of shape, when they score, I think we've got to manage the game better on the pitch with our experienced players who've got to get hold of. When it's 1-1, you've got to maybe take the sting out of the game until half time. You've got to manage that situation better, I think, and then come in 1-1 half time, and then you can rejig. In terms of losing shape, I think we lost a bit of shape, which is unusual because that's not happened. Really, I think this is the first time since me and Gaz have been here that we've conceded 3 goals, which I'm devastated about. We've got to we'll reflect like Gaz says, but for me there's got to be some management of the game. It's got to be better in terms of management of the game, in terms of communication, and also you've got to want to win your individual battle a bit more. That's what I think.
It's not all about Tamworth, of course, and these interviews we tend to focus on very much about what we've done well, not so well, etc. But let's not forget Bromsgrove Sporting are on the back of 3 promotions. They've signed well in pre-season and they've got momentum, so they were always going to be a difficult test tonight. Do you feel it was more a case of we made them perhaps look a little bit better than we should have done. We allowed them to play, and we didn't perhaps do our jobs as well as we could have done.
We gave them the confidence, didn't we? Obviously, we started, there were times when we gave the ball away so cheaply, and those things breed confidence for the opposition. They start to think, well, yeah, they could get something out of the game, and then obviously the mistakes continued, and they've cost us 3 goals tonight and 3 points at home, in our first league game of the season. So, credit to Bromsgrove. I thought Bromsgrove came out, they had their game plan, and I think they executed it well. You can't take nothing away from them. They've done what they had to do. We haven't done what we have to do. So that's the way I'm going to look at it, and I'm not going to get down about it. But obviously we want to rectify things and make sure that this situation doesn't continue. Obviously we know, second game of the season, still time.
Yeah, but did Bromsgrove open us up? Did you think Bromsgrove opened us up, or was it individual elements what created the goals, or did Bromsgrove open us up?
Well, from my personal point of view, I'd say that they pressed us really well. They did very well in midfield and forced mistakes, and their goals came from individual errors from our point of view. Yeah.
That's we. I'm asking that because when you say that, I think that if you look the build up, there's individual elements in there where if we manage that better or make better decisions, then maybe the outcomes don't happen, and the players know that. But we've got to. That's what I mean by manage the thing. I don't think it was where Bromsgrove outplayed us, outworked us. I think there's moments where there's a lot of times when you say the press we've got on the ball and broke their press and played out, especially in the first parts. And then there was a spell for 10 minutes in the second half when we come out where I thought we looked lively. But what we've got to do is manage their moments better and make better decisions in their moments, I feel, for the goals that Bromsgrove scored.
Okay. Only 2 games in, like I say, it's not all doom and gloom, it's just 2 games in. We're just disappointed, obviously, it's a bad start to the season in terms of what we were expecting. Is it now a time for calm heads and focus?
Well, it is, because I've, gone into the change room with Andrew and the boys, and obviously, like I told you at the very beginning of this interview, the frustration is real, and them boys are feeling it just as much as the fans, just as much as me and Andrew as a management pair are feeling it. Everyone's frustrated because we know that what we have in that changing room, we wouldn't change it. If I look at what was out on that park today, it's probably 1 or 2 players maybe, but not a great deal of players that I would rather have in the Tamworth dressing room. So yeah, not all doom and gloom. It's only the second one. Okay, we've not picked up the points that we wanted to. We set ourselves a target. We're still capable of reaching the target before the month's out. It just means now, obviously, we've got to bring our A game to the table inside the next 3-4 games before the month's out, and I do believe we'll get there.
Well, next game comes up quick fast. Peterborough Sports at home, another promoted side, of course, champions of their league last season. So another tough test, no doubt, on Saturday, but another chance at home in front of our own fans to get some points on the board. And you've got a training session as well, chaps, to work with the lads before then.
I always say there's no easy games in football. No one's just going to roll over and allow you to beat them. You're going to have to work hard, and you're going to have to play really, really well. And listen, Tamworth's a big scalp for many a football club, so we understand that. We know that they're going to come here and they'll bring their A game to the table, but we'll be ready. We'll bounce back, that's for sure.
Looking forward to it.
Any fresh injury concerns after this evening's game?
No, everybody's come through unscathed, so it will be 100% in training on Thursday, and we'll be ready to go come Saturday.
Okay, I did catch a word with Joe Magunda, who of course came off on Saturday against St Ives quite late on with a rib injury. Mm-hmm. He did say looking at least 4 weeks with that rib injury.
Yeah, he's looking at least that period of time. He's had the scan on it already, he's been diagnosed, and so obviously we know that we're not going to have Joe available, but what we have in the changing room, he's quite capable of You know, it doesn't matter who the personnel is. I think they're quite capable of doing a decent job. That's why we put the faith in them. That's why they're here at the football club. They know what their responsibilities are, and I'm sure they will bounce back as well.
Absolutely. Okay, well, as always, guys, thank you very much for your time this evening, after a difficult result, obviously. We'll look forward to speaking to you again after the Peterborough game on Saturday. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.